Laura, you are the living example of what we have said in the beginning when we started the early days of the legislation, that every family is one phone call or one diagnosis away from needing serious health insurance and health care, even if they're young and they think, no, I don't need it now, I'm invincible. And young people helped us pass this by saying, even though they're invincible, they want insurance against what could happen. When you talked about being an advocate for healthcare, not realizing that you would be needing it yourself.
About 13 years ago, the AFL-CIO sent me to Arkansas. I was on the ground working with families across the state that were facing challenges because this was in the time before the Affordable Care Act. So I met people that had to declare medical bankruptcy, that couldn't get the coverage they needed because the insurance market back then didn't have the protections that it has today. So 13 years ago, I was proud to help get the Affordable Care Act passed, never realizing that years later it would save my own life. Because 5 years ago yesterday, I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. But thankfully, I had insurance through the Affordable Care Act. So I was able to get through 6 months of chemotherapy and a month of radiation to be in remission today. Sometimes, based on family history or based on symptoms or whatever, sometimes you may know that you'll need healthcare, and sometimes it comes out of the blue. Because I didn't have a family history of cancer, and I was a yoga practicing vegetarian that did all the things. And I walked into a doctor's office with a nagging cough and walked out with a stage 4 cancer diagnosis. So I didn't see it coming. And I really didn't see coming the attacks on our healthcare at the same time, because the day after my first chemotherapy appointment, while I was on the couch dealing with the fact that I'd just been poisoned and figuring out what was going to happen in my body, that was the day that Republicans in the U.S. House voted to repeal the Affordable Care Act, which was keeping me alive. So it wasn't just that I had to go through chemotherapy every 2 weeks for 6 months, but every day I had to turn on the news to hear more about how the Republicans were attacking our care that so many of us, including myself, rely on to stay alive. And we know that if they get another chance, they'll do the same thing, because Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, he said the part out loud they're not supposed to say, which is they're just waiting for a chance to repeal the Affordable Care Act again if they get back in power. There are millions of Americans that should have health care right now that don't, because Republicans are refusing to do their job and provide health care to the people that elected them. So we need to keep spreading the word about how far we've come thanks to the Affordable Care Act. And the many of us that are alive today are going to need to keep spreading the word this year. But we also have to hold accountable the people that are threatening our health care even today.